You opened your eyes today, and the first thought that crossed your mind was not one of peace. Even before your feet touched the cold floor of the room, I saw the weight of the world trying to steal the breath from your first morning prayer. I stopped what I was doing in the kingdom to watch you awaken, because I knew you would arrive here with a weary soul, desperately seeking a renewed mind. You feel that your desires have become clouded, mixed with the worries that the pillow could not absorb, and that is why I called you to this encounter. There is a mystery about why you woke up with this specific tightness in your chest today, something I have not yet revealed to you but which will be unveiled if you walk with me to the end of this message. I am the one who renewed mercies upon your life while you were still sleeping, and today what I have to give you is not an ordinary teaching, but a deep cleansing of the sources of your soul. If this voice of mine is touching the wounds you hide from everyone, tell me your name below, from what place in this world you hear me and what time the clock shows in your time. I want you to realize that you are not just another number. You are my daughter, my son, and I know you by name. And if you feel that your heart is ready to be cleansed, let your soul cry out right now in the comments, "Lord my God, I am here. I signed up because I love you and want to hear you." Make this your cry of surrender, your first step out of the desert. Stay with me until the last second of this moment of intimacy, for I promise you that I will give a clear answer to your most secret dilemma. In the end, I will whisper a phrase to your heart that will serve as a spiritual key, and whoever declares this word in the comments will receive prophetic blessings that are already released upon your faith. Don't leave, for I haven't yet shown you everything I saw when you were silent in the early morning. I saw you sitting on the edge of the bed, your hands trembling slightly, staring at the emptiness of the kitchen and feeling that the sky seemed like bronze. I know the weight of that crushing silence when you try to formulate a request and the words seem to escape you. You long for pure desires. You want to dream again of what is pure, but the images of the past and the fears of the future insist on soiling your present. How can the same mind that praises me be the hiding place of so many thoughts of scarcity and anguish? The answer to this pain lies in how I will reorganize your inner self now, but first, I need you to understand the nature of this battlefield that surrounded you at dawn. If this touch on your heart brought you solace, don't keep this peace to yourself. Share this moment with someone you know who also woke up with a heavy soul. What are you offering me this morning? Write in the comments our first word of faith, sealing this beginning of renewal, a new beginning. But there is still something I am silently preparing for the next part of our conversation, something you wouldn't understand if I told you yesterday. Have you noticed how the silence of the morning can sometimes be noisier than the chaos of the afternoon? I was there when you sat in that kitchen chair with your coffee mug in your hands, staring into nothingness, while thoughts began to pile up like heavy clouds before a storm. I saw the exact moment when the memory of that unresolved conversation from yesterday tried to steal the sunlight that was beginning to enter through the crack in your window. That weight you feel on top of your head isn't just physical tiredness. It's the world's attempt to occupy the space I have reserved exclusively for my peace. You worry about your children, about the bills due on the 27th, about your failing health, and each of these thoughts tries to enter your mind without asking permission. But I want you to know that I am the sentinel of your soul. Just as you filter water to drink, I am ready to filter every idea, every fear and every lie that whispers that you will not succeed. You look at your hands and notice a slight tremor as you think about this afternoon's commitment. But I see beyond the surface. I see your quest to be a better person, to have a mind that is not a battlefield but a garden of rest. Often you allow the emotional garbage of others to be deposited in your heart, and this ends up soiling your own desires. You begin to desire only the relief of pain, when I want you to desire the fullness of my presence. For it is written in the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verses 22 and 23, "The Lord's mercies are the reason we are not consumed, for his compassions never end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness." This truth is not just an ancient text. This is the remedy for your current moment, as you stare at that bill on the table or at the phone waiting for a message that never arrives. My faithfulness is what prevents these thoughts from crushing you. I am filtering out the noise so that you can hear only my melody. If you feel that I am clearing your vision now, Leave your sign of gratitude touching the heart of this video so that more souls may find this refuge. And if you wish that I may guard your mind every day, join us on this journey of faith. Share this balm with that friend you know didn't sleep well last night. What has occupied the throne of your mind today? Fear or my promise? Write in the comments the word that seals your trust in my care. Clear thought. But pay attention, because there is still a deep root in an old desire of yours that I need to uproot, so that your mind may be truly free. And what I will reveal to you next may be what was missing for your miracle to happen. I see how your heart begins to incline towards the light of this day, and how the desire to honor me begins to blossom amidst the ashes of what is left behind. There is a law in my kingdom that you need to understand now, a secret of intimacy that connects your gratitude to the harvest I have prepared for your future. When you take care of what nourishes your soul, I ensure that you never lack the nourishment that sustains your hope. If your heart feels the desire to overflow, and only if this is easy for you, I invite you to transform this gratitude into a seed of love through this small channel where I speak to you. Consider the affection I have for you and the sacrifice of my Son Jesus, and if you feel the calling, contribute through the link I left in the description and in the pinned comment. Here is the sacred place where your offering of love can be delivered and consecrated before Him who created all things that your eyes see. You can sow any amount you wish, simply typing the sum that fits in your heart. I receive it with my love. The size of the coin does not matter, but rather the sincerity of the soul that gives. For the little you give can be much for those who receive my message of comfort through this work. Whoever decides to sow with a pure and generous heart, I ask that you leave your name and city along with your gesture, for on the first day of next month, we will have a unique moment of gratitude and intercession on this Divine Love channel, the Voice of God, where your name will be mentioned and covered by divine blessings released in prayer. For it is written in the book of Proverbs, chapter 3, verses 9 and 10, "Honor the Lord with your wealth and with the first fruits of all your produce, and your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over with new wine." Every offering made in faith is a precious seed before me, your Lord, and I will not fail to make any of them bear fruit in your life. I observe what you do in secret, and I will reward you before all. Abide with me until the end of this word, for I still want to touch the deepest wounds of your heart with my voice. If this voice of mine is comforting your spirit and you desire that I continue guiding your steps, show your affection by liking this encounter and joining our family of faith through your registration. What do you feel is being cleansed within you at this moment? Share this peace with someone who needs a new dawn. Write in the comments the word that defines your spiritual offering to me today, gratitude. But we are not finished yet, for what I will show you now about your secret desires will change the way you see your own worth before my throne. You think I only see what you show to the world or the words you say when you are surrounded by people, but the truth is that I dwell in the darkest and quietest rooms of your soul. I saw the exact moment just now when you stood before the bathroom mirror and, for a second, did not recognize the woman looking back at you. I saw when you brought your face close to the glass and noticed the marks of time around your eyes, and a strange, bitter desire rose in your chest, the desire to go back, to erase the choices that brought you here, or perhaps the longing to have the life of someone you saw on a cell phone screen last night. These desires, which seem harmless, are the little thieves that enter through the window of your mind and steal the peace I placed in your heart at dawn. You desire approval. You desire that someone recognize your effort around the house. You desire that your silence be interpreted as strength and not as defeat. But sometimes these desires become clouded. You begin to wish that the other person's pain were equal to yours so that they understand you, or you wish that justice would come from your own hands. I see the weariness in your eyes when you try to bear these burdens. It's too heavy a load for your shoulders. I want to cleanse these desires that suffocate you, replacing the envy disguised as admiration with a profound contentment in my grace. You don't need anyone else's life to be happy. You only need my presence to be fulfilled. For it is written in the book of Psalms, chapter 51, verse 10, "Create in me a pure heart, O God, and renew a steadfast spirit within me." Notice that I am not asking you to cleanse your own heart. I am asking you to give me permission to do this work for you. When you acknowledge before me that your desires are stained with bitterness or anxiety, you open the door for my spirit to enter with the water of life and wash every corner of your soul. I want to renew your spirit in such a way that today's provocations find no place to settle in your thoughts. If you feel that this divine touch is organizing the mess that was inside you, don't forget to enjoy this moment with me, so that my voice may reach other daughters who also feel lost in their own longings. Have you ever thought about what your day would be like if you only desired what I have to give you? I invite you to subscribe so you don't miss any step of this restoration of ours. What have you been desiring most lately? The applause of men or my embrace? Write in the comments the word that will be your request for cleansing today: purity. But pay attention, because I haven't yet given you the gift I prepared to accompany you in the moments when you feel alone, something that will be revealed now that your heart is truly beginning to open to me. I know that maintaining this purity in desires and this cleansed mind is not a task for a single morning. Life out there is brutal, and often, as soon as you close this window of prayer and turn off this video, the world tries again to tarnish the peace we have just built. I see when you feel alone in those cold dawns with tears hidden in the pillow, not knowing how to start the next day without being swallowed by anxiety. Therefore, because I love you and know the fragility of your journey, I have prepared something to be your daily remedy, a constant companion for your moments of silence and seeking. If your heart burns with the desire to go deeper with me, and you want me to guide your thoughts hour after hour, I have left you a special gift, a journey that I myself wrote with infinite love and care for each of my beloved daughters and sons. This is the digital book called Divine Love Devotional, The Voice of God. It was designed to embrace you and guide you day after day, being your guide in the early mornings and your comfort in weary afternoons, helping you to filter what is earthly and embrace what is eternal. You can find access through the link in the description of this video and in the pinned comment. And listen carefully to what I tell you. If today is not possible for you, do not allow guilt to condemn you or your heart to be saddened. Remain here with me in this message, because I will also sustain you and give you strength through these words of life. So that your soul may rest and there may be no confusion in your mind, understand that soon after you register, access to this journey of love will arrive directly at the email address you registered, with all the detailed step-by-step instructions so that you can begin today. For it is written, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, His good, pleasing, and perfect will." This promise is found in Romans chapter 12, verse 2. This devotional is the instrument I have prepared so that this transformation may be real and constant in your life. Take a deep breath, my daughter, and continue with me, for my care for you is meticulous, and I still have secrets to reveal to your soul about how to overcome the thought patterns that have been trying to paralyze you. If you feel that I am calling you to a greater intimacy, leave your sign of love by liking this message and sharing it with someone you know needs divine companionship in their mental battles. What have you been offering your mind upon waking? The fear of the future or my word? Write here in the comments the word that seals your commitment to daily renewal with me: consecration. But don't be distracted, because what I'm about to teach you about the silence of the morning is the key to not only clearing your mind, but keeping it unshakable in the face of any storm. The silence of the morning is my favorite laboratory for rebuilding what the world has tried to fragment within you. As you walk through the still dark house, hearing only the creaking of the wooden floor or the muffled sound of the refrigerator in the kitchen, I am there observing the weight you carry on your shoulders even before you put on your clothes. You splash that cold water on your face, trying to awaken to your obligations, but what your soul truly desires is to awaken to a peace that doesn't depend on what's written in your agenda. I see when you rest your forehead against the cold mirror, closing your eyes for 5 seconds, pleading in your thoughts that today be different, that your mind not be flooded again by those shadows that have haunted you since your youth. Renewing the mind is not an effort of willpower. It is an act of surrender. You try to control your thoughts like someone trying to hold the wind in their hands, and you end up exhausted. The secret I want to teach you in this silence is substitution. You don't overcome a bad thought simply by trying not to think about it. You overcome it by putting something bigger and brighter in its place. When the fear of scarcity comes knocking at the door of your mind at 7 in the morning, you must open the door and present my abundance. When the memory of that old rejection tries to tarnish your worth, you must immerse that memory in my eternal acceptance. For it is written in my word, in the book of Philippians chapter 4 verse 8. Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things. Look at your life now. How many of these 8 things have occupied your mind in recent days? Have you given place to what is lovely or to what is bitter? I want you to understand that I have given you the power to choose where your mind will dwell. You can dwell in the past that hurt you, or you can dwell in the promise I made to you. Cleansing your mind is like cleaning a window pane that has been exposed to rain and dust for years. At first, the dirt seems ingrained, but as my voice continues to pass through, the light returns, and you begin to see colors you had forgotten existed. If you feel that my spirit is currently wiping the windows of your soul clean, show your gratitude by enjoying this encounter and sharing this light with someone living in a dark room of depression or fear. Have you realized how liberating it is not to be a slave to your feelings? I invite you to subscribe so that, with each new dawn, we can organize your inner home together. What have you allowed to dwell in your thoughts? The truth about who I am, or the lie about who they say you are? Write in the comments the word that will be your decree of mental freedom today, new mind. But I haven't yet shown you the danger that lurks in the cracks of your day. Something you need to learn to watch out for so that this cleansing is not in vain, and that's what we'll talk about in the next moment. I saw the reflection of the blue light from your phone dancing on your tired face while you were lying down. Just before sleep finally overcame you, I saw when your eyes, already heavy, wandered over images of lives that seemed perfect, smiles that seemed brighter than yours, and achievements that made you feel deep down that you were falling behind. You didn't realize it, but at that moment, you left the door of your soul open and allowed the thief of comparison to enter and steal the peace that I had spent all day building in you. You take so much care to lock the door of your house before sleeping. You check the windows and make sure that no stranger enters your physical refuge. But why have you been so careless with the windows of your eyes and the gates of your ears? Your mind is sacred ground, but you have allowed any seed to be planted in it. You hear news of tragedies and absorb the fear as if it were your only reality. You listen to the criticisms of that neighbor or the silent judgment of someone in your family and keep those words in your heart as if they were absolute truths about who you are. I see you gripping the phone tightly, feeling a lump in your throat as you read comments that don't belong to you. That weight you feel isn't yours, my daughter. It's the emotional garbage you've let in unfiltered. To have clean desires, you first need to cleanse what you allow your eyes to see. If you spend your day looking at what you lack, how do you expect to desire the abundance I have already placed in your hands? For it is written in the book of Matthew, chapter 6, verses 22 and 23, "The lamp of the body is the eye. If therefore your eye is good, your whole body will be full of light. But if your eye is bad, your whole body will be full of darkness. If then the light that is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness?" Understand that being vigilant is not living in fear, but living with discernment. I want to teach you to place a spiritual sentinel in every crevice of your soul. When something comes to you, be it an image, a news item, or a word, you should ask me, "Lord, does this come from your kingdom, or is it just the noise of this world? If it is not lovely, if it is not of good repute, if it does not bring light to your body, why give it your time and attention?" I am here to help you select what deserves to dwell within you. Your heart is my throne, and I do not want to share it with the shadows you absorb through distraction. If this direction of mine is showing you where you have been vulnerable and you want me to guard your home today, leave your sign of agreement by enjoying this spiritual journey of ours. Have you ever felt your soul weighed down just by hearing someone complain or seeing something that distressed you? I invite you to subscribe so that, together, we can strengthen the walls of your faith. Share this warning with someone you know who is being bombarded by thoughts of fear and insecurity. What have you allowed into your inner home without my permission? Write in the comments the word that will be your commitment to protection today. Vigilance. But pay attention, because the noise outside is loud. But there is an even more dangerous noise happening inside you, and I need to show you how my voice can silence this chaos in the next moment we spend together. There's a noise that not even the deepest silence in your house can drown out. I saw you a little while ago walking down the hallway, feeling that persistent buzzing in your ears. It wasn't an outside sound. It was the echo of your own self-criticism. It's the voice that tells you that you haven't done enough, that time is passing too quickly, and that you won't be able to handle everything your shoulders carry today. This inner chaos is like a radio tuned to the station of fear, and you've become so accustomed to this noise that it has become the background music of your existence. You try to speak to me, but your words get lost amidst the to-do list, the face of that relative who hurt you, and the uncertainty that tightens your chest. Many times you think that to hear me, I need to shout or make a big fuss, but my kingdom doesn't operate on the frequency of despair. I saw when you sat on the sofa, and the weight of the silence seemed to crush your thoughts, leaving only the mess. It is at this moment, when the inner noise seems to reach its maximum volume, that I bend down to you. I am establishing a divine order over this storm of accusing voices. Remember my servant Elijah, hidden in a cave, his soul in pieces. There was a wind that split the mountains, there was an earthquake, and there was a fire, but I was not in any of these great noises. For it is written in the first book of Kings, chapter 19, verses 11 and 12, "And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great and strong wind tore the mountains and broke the rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire a still small voice. That still small voice is my voice whispering in the center of your soul now. While the world screams urgency and your own mind screams guilt, I sweetly tell you, stop for a moment. I don't speak through anxiety. I speak through peace that surpasses human understanding. When you are silent for a moment to listen to me, chaos begins to lose its power. I am reorganizing your priorities, removing the weight of what doesn't belong to you, and showing you that what you consider a disaster is just a passing cloud that my breath will dispel. I am tuning your heart to my frequency of love, so that you are no longer driven by fear but by my safe and calm direction. If you feel that my gentle voice is bringing order to your life at this moment, leave your sign of surrender by enjoying this spiritual conversation. Have you noticed how the noise of the world tries to convince you that I am far away? I invite you to subscribe so that together we can keep your spiritual radio always tuned to my word. Share this relief with that person you know who can no longer hear their own soul because of so much noise around them. What has the voice of fear been shouting at you lately? Write in the comments the word that will be your decree of silence for the chaos, inner peace. But I haven't shown you everything yet, because besides changing what you hear, I want to transform the way you see your own world, and what I will reveal to you next will change your perspective on every obstacle in your path. You paused for a moment now, perhaps with your gaze fixed on some point on the wall of your room, feeling that life has lost some of the vibrant color it used to have. I saw when you looked at your hands and felt the weight of time, as if your best years were trapped in old photographs that you keep in that wooden drawer you rarely open. You see scarcity, where I see preparedness. You see a closed door and feel the bitterness of rejection. I see the same door and feel the relief of my protection, because I know that what lies on the other side is not yet firm ground for your feet to rest on. You look at your bank balance, at the marks on your face, at the silence of the person you love so much, and you conclude in a desolate whisper, "It's all over." But my gaze, my daughter, pierces the fog of your pain and sees what your heart cannot yet conceive. I see the seed breaking through the shell with strength and vigor, while you only see the dark, damp, and cold earth. I see the new smile that will take the place of that stubborn tear that now runs down your face and touches the corner of your mouth. For your mind to be truly renewed, I need you to begin to use the lenses of my faith. It is a daily exercise, a profound effort of the soul to not accept the cruel lie that what you see now is all that exists for you. There is a spiritual world vibrating around you. Angels that I sent to camp in your living room while you slept. Provisions being prepared in places your feet do not yet know. You see chaos. I see the order I am establishing, for it is written in my word, in the second letter to the Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 18. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen, since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. When you learn to see your life through my eyes, fear loses its authority over your decisions. That problem that seemed like an insurmountable mountain becomes just a necessary step on your ascent. That loneliness that sometimes suffocates you becomes a precious invitation to be alone with me. I want you to begin declaring what I see in you, not what your circumstances scream in your ears. You are loved, you are capable, you are mine, and your future is not written in the headlines of this world, but in the palms of my hands. Change your perspective, and your world will change along with you. If you feel your vision is being healed now, and you want to start seeing the hidden blessings in your routine, show your love by enjoying this prophetic encounter. Have you ever stopped to think about how many times I have delivered you from something terrible that you didn't even see? I invite you to subscribe so that your faith may be nourished and your eyes may always remain open to heaven. Share this new perspective with that friend you know can only see shadows and pain at this moment. What is the situation that has been causing you the most anguish and which you surrender to my gaze today? Write here in the comments the word that will be your new decree of faith, divine vision. But stay with me, because there is still something I see in you, in your small daily acts of kindness, that you think no one noticed, but which has infinite value for me and is what sustains your purpose. You often think that your life is reduced to a succession of endless tasks, that your purpose has been lost amidst the smell of food on the stove and the noise of the washing machine in the laundry room. I was there when you bent down to pick up that object that had fallen on the floor, feeling a sharp pain in your back and a sigh of exhaustion escaping your lips. You looked around and felt that no one noticed your dedication, that your effort to maintain peace in that house is like writing in the sand before the tide rises. But I want you to know that, for me, there are no small gestures. Every time you choose patience instead of a bitter response, every time you lovingly prepare that table, even when your own heart is heavy, you are officiating a worship service at the altar of your home. I see the weariness in your eyes when the living room light goes out and you finally sit for 5 minutes, feeling the weight of the silence and the solidity of a weariness that receives no applause. You feel invisible, as if your identity has been swallowed by the needs of others, as if you were just a cog in a machine that cannot stop. But I tell you, in my kingdom the invisible are the most noticed. I count every drop of sweat and every whispered prayer as you sweep the sidewalk or organize the drawers with a heavy heart. These acts of love, which you think are worldly and without brilliance, are the golden threads weaving your eternal crown before my throne. You are not merely surviving the day. You are fulfilling a destiny that I have precisely traced so that my light might shine through your simplicity. For it is written in my word in the book of Colossians, chapter 3, verses 23 and 24. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart, as working for the Lord, not for human masters, since you know that you will receive an inheritance from the Lord as a reward. It is the Lord Christ you are serving. When you understand that every small gesture is in fact a direct service to me, the weight of invisibility disappears like the mist at sunrise. You don't need them to thank you for your work to have value, because I have already thanked you with my grace and my protection over your descendants. I see the beauty in the way you take care of the details, in the way you worry about the well-being of those around you, often forgetting yourself and your own desires. I am here to remind you that you are my most faithful collaborator on earth. Where you see routine, I see unwavering fidelity. Where you see physical exhaustion, I see a living sacrifice that rises like sweet incense to my nostrils. You are precious to me not for what you achieve in the eyes of men, but for the love you place in what is small and hidden. If you feel that my presence is validating your effort and honoring your story now, leave your sign of love by liking this spiritual journey of ours. Have you ever felt your heart warm in an inexplicable way, just knowing that I saw what no one else noticed? I invite you to subscribe so that, together, we can give new meaning to every moment of your journey. Share this message with that woman you know feels exhausted and worthless in the silent tasks of daily life. What have you done with love, even without anyone's recognition, that you offer to me today? Write in the comments the word that seals your identity as a daughter honored by God. I am seen. But don't move from there now, because we have reached the moment when the last piece of this mystery will be put in place, and the phrase I promised at the beginning is about to be revealed to seal your definitive victory over the chaos that tried to steal you away. My daughter, now that the sun has fully risen on the horizon of your life and the light of my word has washed away the darkest corners of your mind, I want you to feel my tight and real embrace. I saw every tear that dried as you listened to me, and I saw how your heart, which once seemed like a dry and cracked desert, began to blossom with new, pure desires, deeply aligned with my eternal purpose for you. You are not leaving this conversation the same way you arrived. That woman who felt the crushing weight of the world on her shoulders now carries the lightness of my yoke, for I took your anguish upon myself and gave you my peace, which is the greatest treasure anyone can possess. As I promised you at the beginning, when you still doubted whether I would truly speak to you this morning, I have saved for this final moment the spiritual key that will open all the doors that fear and comparison tried to lock in your future. This is the phrase I whisper to your spirit now, the clear answer that heaven has released, so that you will never again feel small or incapable in the face of the struggles to come. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. This is not just an old quote, it is the living seal of your victory. I want you to rise now, with your head held high and your eyes shining with my light, and write with all the strength of your soul in the comments these words of power. I can do all things through him who strengthens me. By doing this, you are sealing your surrender and declaring to the entire universe that your mind has been renewed and that you no longer accept the lies that tried to tarnish your dreams. Receive now the prophetic blessing that I release upon your home, upon your family, and upon every project that I myself purified in this encounter. The path ahead is clear, and my presence will be your constant compass. But do not turn away from my voice. Continue to be immersed in this healing atmosphere we have created here. I have prepared a continuous path for you in our channel's playlist, where my messages continue the work of restoration in your soul whenever the noise outside tries to confuse you. Stay with me, for there is still much that heaven wishes to reveal to you in the coming journeys. I love you with an eternal love and will be by your side in every beat of your heart throughout this day. I am your strength when your arms falter. I am your clarity when the world tries to blind you. I am your God, and today I have made my permanent dwelling in your new mind.